Hi there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp, and today I have a set of Autumn Blessings die cut cards showcasing the October 2016 card kit. The card kit has sold out, however you can still purchase the individual components individually, and you may even be able to create similar cards with products that you already have on hand. I went ahead and created a trio of cards, and part of the reason for creating 3 of them is because I wanted to use all of my die cut pieces. The whole card centers around using this Simon Says Stamp ring frame die, and I wanted it to be dimensional and die cut from white cardstock. So I'm taking some fun foam and backing both sides of the fun foam with some Stick It, and this is going to make both sides sticky. Once I pull that off, one of the best ways to make sure that it's stuck really well is to go ahead and run it through your Big Shot, and that is going to make that adhesive stick to the fun foam. So you can see here I tried to pull it up and it's just not peeling back. The release paper is not releasing. So I like to run it through the Big Shot once, and that is going to make it so super easy to grab hold, and that release paper is going to come straight off, and the fun foam is sticky now. I went ahead and placed some white cardstock on that sticky side, and then I'm going to take my ring frame and die cut that from this kind of cardstock Stick It fun foam sandwich. And I'm going to run it back and forth several times to get a really crisp die cut image, because that's quite a few layers there. And then I'm carefully going to peel and pop this out. Now I am using the side fold cards from Simon Says Stamp. These are great card bases. There were some included in the card kit, and you can buy them individually. These are the card bases I use for probably 99% of my cards. They're just fabulous. They're already cut to A2 size. They come in both the side fold and top fold. Just great, easy way to instantly create cards. So I'm carefully peeling this out because that back is sticky as well. And I'm going to pop out all those inside pieces. I am not keeping any of them. You could if you wanted to and use them for something else. I just want the frame though. And once I get that everything removed from it, I think I had to use some scissors to trim one of these out. It was stuck just a little bit. I'm going to attach this to the front of my side fold card base. So just try to find a way to position it, and then I'm just going to carefully press that in place. So awesome way to frame up some pattern paper circles. Just using my Teflon bone folder to kind of score that, make sure it's nice and flat. Now I am going to die cut some of the Lawn Fawn Perfectly Plaid pattern papers. These are gorgeous pattern papers. And what I did was I took 3 of the patterns and die cut them with this same ring frame die. What I realized as soon as I die cut this, and I've done this before when I've done sets of cards, is I'm going to be left with a bunch of circles because I am going to be using different patterns from 3 different sheets of paper. Because I'm using patterns from 3 sheets, it goes without saying I'm going to have enough circles to do 3 cards, and therefore the only waste, if you decide not to use it, is going to be the pattern paper kind of frame piece, because I'm using the white fun foam frame. So it just, to me, makes sense to go ahead and make 3 cards at the same time. I am using these 3 patterns. I'm just going to set all of my circles aside, and then I can do all the assembly at once. And from one of the brown pattern papers, I am going to use the great Stitched Maple Trio dies, also an exclusive die collection from Lawn Fawn, Simon Says Stamp. And that's going to be my leaf accents for the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put together all of my circles now, add all of those pattern paper circles inside the frames. I love these plaid pattern papers from Lawn Fawn. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm using a little liquid adhesive for most of them simply because it's such a small area and it's the best way to get some adhesive in there. Using a piercing tool just to kind of move them into place so I can keep my fingers out of the liquid glue. And then I have one of my maple leaves here. I'm just testing it out. Before I continue with that, I do want to go ahead and add all of those circles to my other 2 cards. And it just does, it makes me happy to know that I used all of these pattern paper pieces. You could totally use them for something else, or you could just throw them away if you wanted to. But as paper crafters, we tend to like to keep all of those little bits and pieces, especially of our favorite pattern papers. So I love finding ways to utilize all of them. Once I have all my pattern paper in all of the frames, I'm ready to start embellishing. And I did die cut the maple or stitched maple trio, and I'm attaching those with glue dots. The large one on the largest circle and then 2 others on each card. So I die cut the trio 3 times. Once I have that, I'm going to add a little distressing to my card. And I'm going to do this with the Tim Holtz Tarnished Brass Distress Paint. And I'm going to take it and place it on an acrylic block and water it down with a little bit of water. The water's just going to thin it so that it's a little easier to flick. And what I'm going to do is just flick this all over the surface. And I purposely wanted some of those little droplets to be on the leaves. That's why I went ahead and did all of my assembly here and then went ahead and did that. Then all you want to do is set these aside to dry for a little bit. What I ended up doing was I went and had lunch with my youngest and came back and put the rest of the card together. Now in the kit are these awesome little acorns. They're also available individually. So I'm going to stick one of those on each of the large maple leaves. I have die cut some smaller leaves from gold metallic paper using the leaves from the Stitched Pumpkins dies from Simon Says Stamp. Again, adding those with some glue dots. And then from this latest September release, there's this beautiful Autumn Blessings die cut greeting. I have die cut that from gold metallic cardstock as well. And I'm carefully just adding little dabs of glue to the back of it and attaching that to my card along the bottom. So once I have that in place, I'm just putting an acrylic block on top to hold that down. I'm going to follow these same steps for the remaining 2 cards and then finish each with a scattering of pearl gemstones just to kind of finish off the embellishing. A fun, easy way to create a trio of die-cut cards that feature gorgeous plaid pattern papers and some gold metallic die-cut accents. Thanks for joining me for this set of cards showcasing components from the October 2016 Simon Says Stamp card kit. The supplies I've used to create these cards are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Here are a couple more cards showcasing Simon Says Stamp card kits. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.